Company. Happy Wednesday. It's Watcha Cookin Wednesday here at Celebration Company, and today we are making low-carb chicken enchiladas. I love chicken enchiladas, and the former recipe that I typically made is definitely not low-carb and isn't the best option. So we're going to make another version of chicken enchiladas that's going to be low carb and high in protein, and a good option for somebody who is trying to watch what they eat. And it's going to be delicious too. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't follow recipes very often, and I'm not following a recipe today. I am winging it, and I'm throwing this together. So that's how I roll. We'll see how it goes. I'm bringing y'all along for the ride, and we'll see if this is going to be good or not. I think it will be, though. I feel like it should be. So we'll see how it turns out, though. So when you hop on, say hey, let me know you're watching. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day today. It's a beautiful day here in Kentucky for now. It is supposed to rain. Hopefully it holds out. We have a track meet tonight. We have to leave here in about 2 hours for this track meet. And so I can't have these enchiladas for dinner tonight because we're not going to be here. But I wanted to go on and prep them and get them in the oven for tomorrow. So tonight we're going to be packing a cooler, and I don't know, we'll figure something out. Hopefully it doesn't rain tonight during this track meet. So, all right, y'all, and it's my first official track meet. I've been to one before, and Griffin was not officially on the team. He was just throwing shot put for them. And this is the first time he's been on the team, and the first time that we've gotten to go as a family to a track meet. So I am kind of excited. Hi, Stacy. Hey, Jamie. Hello, Sabrina. Hi, Maxine. Hey, April. Good to see y'all. Happy Wednesday. Hope y'all are having a really great day. All right, so here is what I got going on. Hi, April. I have a number 13 pan, and I have greased this with Pam. Okay. Chicken Alfredo sounds good. Okay, and then I have some chicken over here that I cooked in the oven. This is just chicken breast. Now, you could use whatever you want to for this. If you want to use canned chicken, that's fine. If you want to use a rotisserie chicken, that's fine. If you want to use cooked frozen chicken, you can do that. Whatever you want to use. What I did, hi, Kimberly. Hey, Teresa. Hello over on YouTube. Look at all that juice. What I did is took some chicken breasts. I put some salt and some olive oil and some taco seasoning on my chicken breasts, and I put them in the oven on 425 for 18 to 25 minutes. Some of them cooked a little longer than others, and I checked the temperature, brought them up to 160 degrees, and took them out when they got to 160, and then covered them and let them rest. They have been resting for at least 30 or 40 minutes. So what we're going to do is cut these up or dice them or shred them, however you want to do it. I don't know. We're going to just see what the chicken does. How about that? And get our chicken ready, and then we'll start making our filling. Hey, Teresa. I think I said hello to you, but I don't remember. Okay, so here we go. And I don't know if I need all of this chicken, but if I don't, no big deal, because then I can just save it and use it for taco bowls and things like that. All right, so this piece is cutting fairly easily, so I think I'm just gonna cut because it's easier to me than trying to shred. So I'm gonna cut it into small pieces, bite-sized pieces, because we're putting this inside the enchiladas. And I also haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do like rolled enchiladas, or because I'm limited on the larger tortillas, I may do a casserole type deal, like an enchilada casserole. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. All right, so I'm just dicing the chicken up, getting it cut up into small pieces. You know what? I think I'm gonna toss this back onto this tray where all these juices are sitting. Hey Dale, hello Denise. Not too bad, not too bad. Larissa says casseroles are much easier, and I may end up doing that. I'm going to see how many I have of the larger tortillas. If I don't have enough, then I'm going to do the casserole. Have you made the chicken enchilada casserole before, Larissa? So I'm just slicing it, and then I'm just coming and cutting it in half, and then cutting into little pieces. Casseroles are much easier. That's the comment you said before. So I'm planning to use, of course, my favorite ingredient. Yes, I baked the chicken. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Teresa. Happy Wednesday. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, I baked the chicken on 425 degrees for, some of them baked for about 18 minutes, and some of them baked as long as like 24 minutes. Just depended on the size. I also pounded them out a little bit so they were a little flatter. And I seasoned the chicken with taco seasoning, salt, and of course olive oil as well. And this is 4 full-size chicken breasts. Like I said, I don't know how much I'm going to use, if I'm going to need it all, but I figured if I don't need it all, it's not a big deal. It'll still get eaten. We'll use it for chicken salad, for topping, you know, green salads. We'll use it for taco bowls, different things like that. We do taco bowls a lot around here, especially Andrew. And so we do a lot of ground chicken, so we can definitely use this instead. Okay. Yes, Larissa, a burrito bake. That sounds yummy. He's requested burrito bake for dinner. I say all the time, I hope that Griffin is like that. I hope that he, you know, looks forward to coming home to have Mama's cooking. Sometimes right now, because he's just in that weird stage, I worry that he's not going to feel that way. Because there's, you know, only a few things that he just really loves. Otherwise, he just mostly prefers McDonald's chicken nuggets, even my homemade chicken nuggets. He still would rather have McDonald's or, you know, even like the frozen the other day, we buy the, I can't think, Bear, I think is what they're called, BARE chicken. It's frozen, and we buy the spicy, and they're like little nuggets, little bite-sized, you know, pieces of chicken. They're delicious. Andrew and I love them. Well, so we were having those the other day, and Griffin was throwing a fit for, not actually throwing a fit, but he was begging for Dairy Queen chicken tenders. Even though we were having chicken at home, he still wanted Dairy Queen chicken tenders over that. How much sense does that make, really, y'all? You know, like, that just does not make any sense whatsoever to me, but I don't know. So anyways, I hope that when he grows up, he's going to want to come home and have Mama's cooking. Okay, we got all of our chicken cut up. I'm going to mix it around in that chicken juice. Keep it moist. Also get it coated in all of those spices that are on that pan. You could do, like I said, you could do the chicken any way you want to. I know, bam, it's ridiculous. Hey, Jessalyn. Hi, Cheryl. You could bake it. You can dice it up, put it in the skillet. You could fry it in the skillet and then dice it up. You could do rotisserie chicken. You could do canned chicken. You can do it any way you want to. Ground chicken, whatever you want. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. All right, so now we're going to make the sauce. I know, Teresa, isn't that crazy? But that's where we're at. And so we've kind of gotten to this point now where we're just like, you're done with fast food. We don't want to buy you fast food anymore at all, because, not that we won't, but because that's all he wants. That's all he wants. And when I make things at home that are kid friendly, that he should like and should enjoy, he won't eat it. Thankfully, he still loves fish. And so anytime I make fish, he gobbles that up. I made fish tacos Monday night, and he doesn't eat it like the tacos. He won't eat the peppers and the onions and all of that, but he will eat the fish. He likes lemon on his fish, and then he'll eat like raw broccoli and raw carrots and rice. And he loves salmon, so he'll eat salmon. If I fix salmon, he absolutely adores that, and he eats that. But like last night, I fixed Asian lettuce wraps. The kid, I already knew he wouldn't try them, but like would not do it. Would not do it. You know, so stuff like that, he just won't do. Even if we'd have something simple, you know, like a piece of meat and some corn. The kid doesn't like potatoes, baked potatoes, all that. He likes spaghetti. He does like spaghetti, but okay, anyways, enough of that. Okay, so let's make our sauce. So we're going to do a cheesy sauce, okay? We're going to use cottage cheese for that. So these are almost going to be like chicken queso enchiladas, something like that. Queso chicken enchiladas. Okay, so this I found at Kroger. I'm wondering if it's supposed to compare to the Good Culture. It doesn't say that, but I noticed that it had better macros than the one that I buy all the time, which is the Kroger brand. This is the Simple Truth. The one that I buy all the time, hang on a second. Let me just compare. So this is the one that I get all the time from Kroger. And this one's 110 calories for a half a cup and 13 grams of protein. This one is 90 calories for a half a cup and 15 grams of protein. So I thought I'd give it a try. It also has less carbs and less sugar in this one. It's of course more expensive, but I thought we'd give it a try. And so I thought this would be a good opportunity. It's definitely got a different texture than this one does. It looks a little thicker. So we're going to use this for our sauce. It's going to be part of our sauce. And I'm going to use the whole carton, or the whole tub. Animals? I have no idea, Teresa. I have no idea. I don't think, like, looking at this, which I'm picky about my cottage cheese for sure. Looking at this, I don't think I would like the texture of it just to eat it by itself. But it looks like a really good option to use blended. Okay, Pam says she doesn't see videos of animals. I'm not sure what you're seeing. All right, so I'm going to blend this. And then we're going to add some stuff to it. We're going to blend it until it's completely smooth. We don't have any curds left. Now I've got over here a couple of different things. I've got some diced jalapenos. You could also use green chilies. I've got some El Pato. This is hot tomato sauce. I usually use this when I make enchiladas. And then I've got a can of original Rotel. Okay, that looks incredible. It's very thick and luscious, which is good. And that's something I notice about Good Culture. I never buy Good Culture except for on the rare occasion. It's definitely a lot thicker than the Kroger brand that I usually use. Okay, so let me grab a bowl, a mixing bowl, so that we can mix up our enchilada sauce. So I'm going to dump all of this cottage cheese into this mixing bowl. That's weird, Teresa. I don't know if it was like maybe an advertisement or something. Okay. Teresa, we are we're going to church, of course, and then we've got plans with some family of ours. All right, so I'm going to take my El Pato, and I'm going to use one can. Let me find my. I'm going to use the other can later. We're making enchiladas, Linda. Still haven't decided if we're doing enchiladas or enchilada casserole. Either way, we're making enchiladas. All right, so this stuff right here is really good if you've never used it before. I originally found this from Ree Drummond because I watched her show one day and she was making chicken enchiladas, or no, beef and bean. She called it beef and bean casserole or beef and bean burritos. That's what it was. And she used this. And so I've been using it ever since. So I'm going to mix that in with the cottage cheese. We're also going to add the tomatoes in here, the Rotel tomatoes, and some jalapenos, okay? All right, so and we're going to drain these Rotel tomatoes. I'm just gonna take this to the sink real quick. Get as much water out as I can. All right, and I'm gonna dump those into the cottage cheese mixture. And then my jalapenos. I do too, Teresa. And my mom actually kind of collects her products. She really likes all of her kitchen stuff because it's all bright and colorful. And Kimberly, it's called El Pato hot tomato sauce. All right, and then I'm gonna add in some jalapenos, about half, I think. All right, and we're gonna mix this up, and this is gonna be a sauce that we're gonna use. And I don't know if we're gonna need all of it or how we're gonna do this exactly. We'll see. But we kind of have like a queso going on right here, okay? Essentially, that's what this is. If you've never used cottage cheese as queso, you're missing out. All you have to do is warm it up, and it melts. All of the curds melt, and it turns into queso. And you can put, rotel and whatever kind of things you want in it. It's delicious. Okay, so here we go. That looks good. I think I'm going to add a little bit of taco seasoning in here as well. I need to refill my taco seasoning jar. So that was probably about a tablespoon of taco seasoning. I think I'm going to do a casserole. I think we're going to go casserole with this. I think it's going to be easier. And yeah, I think we're going to go casserole. Okay. So we've got our sauce here. Let's start assembling. So I have my 9x13 pan. I have greased it with a little bit of Pam. And then I'm using low carb tortillas for this. These are amazing. So these are one tortilla of the large ones. These ones right here, they're 60 calories and only 1 gram of carbs, or actually it's 0 net carbs is what it's saying. And 4 grams of protein. So we're adding protein here. Yes, Kimberly, and it's incredible. I'm not kidding. Try it. It's amazing. So we are going to load in our tortillas into the bottom here. And I'm just going to try. See if I can't cut this. I really need to sharpen my knives to make the whole bottom covered. All right, there we go. Okay, so we used 2 for the first layer. So now we're going to add our chicken. And of course this has taco seasoning and salt. That's it on here. And I'm just going to spread this out into an even layer. We'll do a little more. Okay. So you can see this is going to be high protein because there's protein in the chicken, there's protein in the sauce, and there's protein in the tortillas. So we're high protein, low carb on this. All right, then we're going to add our sauce on top. Let me get a ladle for this. This will be better. Okay, so we're going to add our queso sauce right on top. blended cottage cheese, a can of Rotel, diced jalapenos, and a can of El Pato spicy tomato sauce and taco seasoning. Okay, then we're going to add some shredded cheese. This is queso quesadilla. You can use whatever kind you want. We're adding more protein in with this cheese. It's 6 grams of protein for 1/4 of a cup of this cheese. He loves it, Sandy. It is good for gout. I didn't know that. He loves cottage cheese. It has been a lifesaver. He's started dieting again, and it is so good for him because it's a great way to add in that protein in order for him to reach his protein goals. As a man working out, he really has to reach those protein goals. All right, so, and then we're gonna repeat, okay? I don't, Patricia, I have before. Andrew and I went through a kick of doing a clean eating for a long time, and I did then made my own, but I don't take the time for that anymore. I just buy the pre-made stuff. All right, there we go. I'm gonna just press this down. And then we're gonna repeat. Yes, Kimberly, they do. That's where I bought the El Pato. It's with the tomato sauce and the Rotel and all of that, the diced tomatoes, all of that stuff you'll find together. Thinking I won't need another layer of chicken, so I think I'm gonna add all of it. So essentially we did use 4 chicken breasts for this. Green onions, tomatoes, radishes, celery, and cucumber. That sounds good, Christine. Okay. All right, so let's ladle on more of our sauce. Just gonna go ahead and use the last of this. Yeah, I add the sauce, Irene, on top of the chicken. So we're doing the tortillas, the chicken, the sauce, and then the cheese, and then repeat. Okay, so I've got another package here of this cheese. So we're gonna add another layer of cheese. This layer just has to be a sprinkling because we're going to do more cheese on the very top. Looks like I had just enough tortillas, the large ones, to do this. So we're doing the last layer of tortillas. Oh yeah, Pam, I like all of it. I can't say that I care either way, but I typically do the red sauce, I guess. All right, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna take this last jar of the El Pato tomato sauce. Okay, so we've done 2 jars of it. This jar is just gonna go right on top. Okay, so we're just gonna literally pour this directly on top. Just like that. And I'm going to use an offset spatula to kind of spread that a little bit. All right, and then we're going to top it with more cheese. And it's done. And I'm planning to just let this rest in the fridge until tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, I'll probably pull it out earlier and let it come down in temperature a little bit before I put it in the oven. And then it'll probably need to bake for about an hour. I'll bake it on 350 until it's bubbly. And I'll probably start it with the foil on top. And then I'll take the foil off at some point along the way, maybe like 20 minutes before or halfway before, something like that. And then I'll let it kind of brown on the top. So that is it. There's our chicken enchilada casserole. So this is what we did to recap. So we used 4 chicken breasts. The chicken breasts we seasoned with salt, olive oil, and taco seasoning. I baked the chicken breasts at 425 degrees for 18 to 24 minutes until the temperature reached 160 degrees on the inside. And then I let them rest in foil for like 30 or 40 minutes before I got started on my casserole. I diced up the chicken into bite-sized pieces, and then we started making our cottage cheese queso. So we used a whole carton of cottage cheese. We blended it until completely smooth, and then we mixed in a whole can of the El Pato tomato sauce, a whole can of the original Rotel, half a can of diced jalapenos, and about a tablespoon of taco seasoning. Mixed that up, and that was our sauce. So then we just started layering. We did tortillas in a sprayed pan on the bottom, added half of our chicken, and then half of our queso sauce, and then sprinkled on cheese, and then repeated that process. And then at the end, we did finish with a can of the El Pato tomato sauce right on top, and more cheese. Okay, so I used almost two whole packages of cheese. One of these we had already opened up and had already used a little bit. I will put the recipe up, Teresa. This one still has a little bit in it. I might as well use it. We had already opened one of them, but hadn't taken much out. So essentially it was 2 whole packages of cheese. And this is the queso quesadilla. You could use any kind of cheese that you want to use. And like I said, I'll bake this at 350 for probably about an hour, depending. And that's it. So hopefully it's delicious. We'll see how it turns out. I can't tell you until tomorrow evening because I'm not cooking it until tomorrow evening. But hopefully it'll be yummy. So we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I just threw this together, so you never know. I will serve, what will I serve this with? I could definitely serve it with guacamole and chips. Could definitely serve it with chips. Let's see, what else could I serve this with? I could do it with rice. I could do it with some kind of like corn, like a street corn salad or something like that would be really good. A Mexican salad would be really good with this. I think I actually have one of those kits that you put together. So anyways, I don't know. We'll come up with something. I'm trying to think about what I want to serve with it. But all right, y'all. So that's all there is to it, though. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed this. I will put up the recipe on the Celebration Company's Facebook page, so y'all can make this if you want to. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all later. By the way, tomorrow I will be live at 3:30 p.m. for our craft paper reveal, and I'm going to be giving away 6 paint mixing classes. Okay, 6 paint mixing classes to those who are watching live. So make sure you join us tomorrow for that. It's also Thrifty Thursday, so we're going to be making over a thrift store item with some more new craft paper.